Hello and welcome to OurVentura.com. I'm your host, Frank James Malle. With us in the studio today is the lovely and talented Miss Amanda Lynne, also known as Cabaretro. She is a model, an actress, a dancer, and a burlesque performer. With her in the studio is Vincent Mann, who is a playwright as well as a performer in his own right. He also acts as the host and the lead comic for Amanda's show, Cabaretro. Amanda, Vincent, welcome to the studio.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you, nice to be here.
Can you explain to me, in our conversation we had earlier, how is it that you don't have to take off your clothes to be a burlesque performer? Because I think this would be enlightening to most of our viewers.
Well, burlesque actually is the art of cabaret, comedy, international acts. It's a variety show with a little bit more of a adult-themed humor, but nothing that disgraces art or gets to the point of pornography or too sexual.
Yeah, and it operates as parody, really, mostly. It kind of pokes fun at the serious portions of our culture, and it starts that from the very roots. So a little, perhaps a little bawdiness, but never raunchy. A little arm, a little touch of leg, but it's only to highlight the parody that's going on.
So tell us a little bit about the history of burlesque, because I know it's fascinating. It goes back into the early 19th century. Who'd like to take that?
Yeah. American burlesque is a pure art form that was created from British burlesque, which goes back hundreds of years to the music halls, where they would take serious operas and ballets and Shakespeare plays and do musical parodies of them. It was kind of like the Weird Al Yankovics of their time, you know? And in America, these British burlesque performers would come to perform, they'd see that. But we had our own forms of minstrel shows, traveling medicine shows, the Wild West shows. And that was a lot of song and dance, and these forms kind of combined. So American burlesque became something for the people. It wasn't for the upper classes, it was for the middle class and the working class, right? A way to go and enjoy yourselves. There was no TV or internet or radio, no movies in the 19th century. So when you wanted entertainment, you go to a great burlesque show. You'd see a serious form lampooned. You'd see singing and dancing and mostly beautiful girls. And a comedian would come out and be top banana and do little jokes in the sides. So it has a long and rich history in America. Sometimes, unfortunately, it gets appropriated by people that want to add class to a strip show. And so burlesque has taken on a little an undeserved reputation.
Amanda, how do you promote burlesque as a healthy lifestyle? Because I know this is, in viewing your website, I've noticed this is something you're very much involved in and something that's very important to you.
Well, having the company Sugar Free Entertainment, I use burlesque as a way to show and promote healthy living, exercise, good nutrition. And I use the costumes and the glamour to poke interest and awareness to diabetes, because I'm a type 1 juvenile diabetic. And through my dancing and modeling and promotion, I've been able to spark the interest of several artists, one in particular, a Dave Richardson, who is a fabulous artist. And he's doing a sculpture on burlesque. And he asked me to be the model for it, which I'm very honored. And he's promoting it by way of Facebook. And
Is it a life-size photo?
No, it's not a life-size. It's not a life-size, but it definitely will be in different museums. And I'm very honored, and that's sparking the interest in getting me noticed with several different diabetics out there. So we've been able to make friendships through Facebook, through We Are Diabetes, Diabetic Angels, to Diabetes. And they're following my career, and we were able to discuss health issues and tips and really promote good choices and really fight, against this epidemic of diabetes. And I am very thankful for all the artists that are out there supporting what I do and helping get the interest out there. So I use all of that to market good, healthy choices.
And I just want to say, if you've been in rehearsal with this woman, she is a bundle of energy. She's choreographing the shows, rehearsing the dancers. She's dancing around herself. I mean, to have diabetes and be able to manage it just through her healthy lifestyle and lead such a dynamic and productive life, it's inspirational to me.
Thank you.
So,
thank you.
Anyone out there that is dealing with an illness like this, whether it's diabetes or a chronic illness, it doesn't have to hold you back. If you take care of yourself and you really want to do something, nothing should prevent you.
Okay. I know most of our viewers will be just as surprised as I was to find out that performing personalities that we're all familiar with, such as Lucille Ball, Jackie Gleason, Bob Hope, they all have their background in burlesque. Mm-hmm. And so when we think of burlesque, most people are thinking taking it off.
There is the art of costume change, which is what I do, but the whole idea of burlesque is the tease, is the thrill, and it's seeing the sparkles and the feathers and the glitz, the glamour, but you're never revealing too much. You always have a prop or something that is done tastefully, or that is done in the way of humor, where you're able to poke fun at a situation or yourself. You're the first person to laugh and everyone laughs with you. That is the true art of burlesque. And then there's the art of the actual dancing. When you're usually involved in burlesque cabaret, you're either a comedian or a dancer or a singer, or you're all the and above. We're not strippers by any means. We definitely don't do anything in the way of pornography or anything that would make anybody feel uncomfortable. We are the true art of burlesque, and I think there's a lot of confusion because there are other performers who use the name of burlesque, but they have a different idea of what that is, and they use it in a more pornographic.
Yes, most people have this idea of burlesque is basically soft porn in seedy venues.
And but see, the main difference is, correct me if I'm wrong, to me it's intelligence. It takes no brains. I can use it to just take your clothes off. But in burlesque, you develop a routine, you build a costume around it, you have a theme, you're telling a story. And it's a satirical story. You're parodying sci-fi movie or this or that. So there's a little wink and a tongue-in-cheek, and it's fun, but there's intelligence behind it. There's intelligence behind everything that's going on. Even if the humor is broad, there's a little something behind it. I like to think.
How did you two hook up and become partners?
Well, through friends.
Yeah, we met a long time ago. I actually knew her mom at one point, and we met, and we both had this love for America 50 or 60 years ago. I think we were both born too late, and I have suits from the 40s and pork pie hats, and Amanda is lovely when she dresses. She's got 40s style outfits. She makes her own clothes, and so we always loved that kind of that period in America, pre-war, post-war, and that American character and that spirit that would come through in the movies and in the radio shows. I love the old comedians, the Henny Youngmans and Jack Bennys and Jackie Gleasons and W.C. Fields, I can quote, and Mae West, and I used to be Snow White, then I drifted. That joke still makes me laugh. I heard it when I was 5 years old, and I didn't even understand it then. Now I am an adult, somewhat, and I understand that joke, and I still laugh at it.
So how do you incorporate comic acts into the show itself? Is it a seamless transition? Is it like a talent show or a vaudeville show?
Our show has a very retro theme to it. The start of our particular show brings you back to a very interesting vaudeville setting, an old vaudeville stage. And he starts the show off introducing a new act that he's trying to produce, and he does a ventriloquist act with another performer, a young lady who dresses up like a doll, and it's just the funniest thing you've ever seen.
Yeah, I have a lot of fun with that. I was happy to write that sketch. She's a real live girl. She's not just a Pinocchio puppet. And I'm trying to get her to cooperate with me and do a ventriloquist act, but she's a little bit naughty. So
so you write all your own material?
What I don't steal from Henny Youngman. God bless you, Henny, wherever you are. Yeah, of course, I write material, and that was one of the exciting things is, Amanda was like, you come in, you just do whatever you like, and I'll tell you if it's bad or if I don't like it. And, and usually it turns out okay.
Every person in my show, I allow to have creativity. Every dancer gets a solo. They get to perform, and we just fine tune it, and I usually will design a costume to go along with their number. And all of them are super professional, very intelligent, very talented. I'm very blessed to have all of them as a part of the act. And we all work well as a family, and it's just great chemistry. It's a fabulous thing. I'm very, very blessed and fortunate to have a company like that.
Vincent, you have your own one-man show, true?
I do.
How'd that come about? And can you give us encapsulate it for us?
Well, yeah, quite a few years ago, I became fascinated with this notion that as I'm aging, and I'm aging, believe me, I realized that memories I thought were crystal clear were becoming a little clouded. And there were things that were important to me when I was a teenager coming of age and trying to find my way in the world. And I wanted to basically write these stories down before I forgot them. And in performing little bits in clubs and classes, I realized it wasn't too bad. And I had something important that I wanted to say. And so I put it into a series of monologues called The Last Hippie, a Western novel. And it's just something enjoyable. It's really an excuse to talk about my wayward youth and tell some crazy stories. But
it is the most fabulous production I've ever seen. And for someone who has...
a great endorsement.
Well, for someone who has worked with Vincent in the comedy set, this is a show that would definitely make you laugh and make you cry. It shows such versatility of his work, and the fact that he wrote it and is acting and directing it when it comes to lighting and sound. It is the most amazing production I've ever seen.
Vincent, if our viewers want to find out more about that, how would they do so?
Well, I'm on Facebook at Vincent.Man1, and I have shows all over. It was a very long-running show in Los Angeles and is touring parts of the country.
And Amanda, our viewers I know certainly want to follow your exploits.
Well, you can follow me on Facebook as well, Amanda Lynne, Lynnne, aka Cabaretro, or you can find me by way of my email, The Diabetic Dancer. It's the easiest way to find me.
Very good. Well, that about wraps up our show for today. I want to thank you for joining us here in the studio. I'm your host, Frank James Malle. Thank you.